It's after 5 in the morning. Matter of fact, it's 6:15. 6:15 in the morning, and it's quiet. Oh my gosh, the moon is so visible over there. It's just perfectly visible. I'm gonna take you around Japan, this corner, this section of Japan, and I'm just gonna talk to you. So watch the video and let me get into it. So next, we're gonna walk down the main street here. The name of this area is Machida, and this is outside of Tokyo Central. So let's keep it moving. All right, so as you walk down this road, you happen upon none other than 7-Eleven. Did you know 7-Eleven is owned by the Japanese? It's a Japanese brand. It wasn't always, as I've learned, but it is now. And Japan's 7-Eleven is a fine dining location and experience. You can find some really good breakfast foods. You can find everything that you need, and it's clean and the service is excellent. So if you're coming from America like I do, and you've had an experience and you have one impression of 7-Eleven, when you come to Japan, then you're in for a rude awakening because the Japanese, um, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's just 7-Eleven. It's just 7-Eleven. But something different in Japan. Something nicer, something more pleasant. That's all I'll say about that. Oh, and in the news recently, they said that America's 7-Elevens are going to try to replicate Japan's 7-Eleven culture. So the services that you can get in Japan at 7-Eleven, you're going to be able to get them in America. So we'll see how that goes. I admit there is something very performative about what I'm doing here because I'm walking and I'm thinking, extemporaneously about what I'm going to talk about. I haven't prepared anything, so it's like, would I do this actually? Would I do this naturally if I were walking around the community? Definitely not. I'd just be walking and I'd have an idea pop in my head and I'd be like, oh, here we go. But here I'm like, oh, that's a nice shot. Let me have an idea pop in my head and then I'll talk about it. So I'm doing this on the fly, really. Yep. It has progressively gotten colder over the last 4 days that I've been here. And I thought I would beat the cold, but this is like wild. My hands are freezing. Yeah, I really wish I had brought some gloves. It's not too bad. Again, it's only the beginning of the winter, so it's not too bad. But maybe next week I'll be really like, oh my gosh, I should not have underestimated Japan like this. All right, so thanks for walking with me. I'm standing outside of the train station, Naruse, here in the Machida area, Machida region. So it's pretty early in the morning. I'm cold, and of course, it's going to warm up. The forecast is for the sun to be out, in which case, just in a few hours, this won't even be a concern for me. So this trip actually is like really perfect timing because it's not as cold as it could be. So, yeah. Um, what else? This is Japan in the morning. This section, this area. Oh, this is quiet. It's a quieter town. Not as many people. I take that back. There are a lot of people here, but the energy, it's not as frenetic as Shibuya and city center. Basically, it's real chill out here. The stores haven't opened, of course. It's only six. It's now 6:30. This coffee shop isn't open. The trains are running. Speaking of the trains, like that's the best way to get around Japan. Forget about taxis; they're way too expensive. Forget about cars; too much of a hassle. The train gets the people around. So I've been riding trains. We've been riding trains. Also, the train system is just it's it's fabulous, but it's also extremely complicated. Like you have to pay attention, but kudos to me, I've been able to pay attention and I only made two mistakes so far. No, if you count overpaying, yeah, you can overpay, you can make some mistakes. So I was going from this stop to the next stop and I paid maybe three times as much as I should have, and I couldn't get a refund because the train companies plural, there's more than one train company. So if you ride with train company A, train company B will not reimburse you for what you paid train company A. So that's what it is. Um, but it's a yeah, it's a complicated rail system. Everyone knows that. That's not something new. It's a complicated rail system, but it's efficient. And then when the experience to have when you come here that you don't expect, you're gonna be if you're riding the train when everyone else is riding, you're gonna be squished. You're gonna be packed next to, you know, the Japanese, touching, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, crotch to crotch. Yes. Um, if you notice, there are very few places to sit. If you can see that, and that's been true for much of my experience. Like you can't just sit down really. Some corporate buildings, like yesterday, we were sitting outside and sitting in front of the corporate building. They had some benches, but in and around the city, you'll be hard pressed to find a chair unless you go into a cafe and pay to sit down, right? So very much so you have to keep moving and you have to pay. So, yeah, it could be a little annoying. Either be annoyed by it or keep up. And then lastly, um, the the older people in Japan, it's beautiful to see the older Japanese. It's old. I mean, it's beautiful. They're dressed so well, so modestly. So um, you know, I want to say like I don't want to say professionally, but they dress. I guess there's a tad bit like in America, as many suits and well dressed people as you see. I'd imagine this would be like 1940s, 1950s America, when suits were really in. At least that aspect of Japanese society is comparable to the United States in a way. In other ways, Japan's just like superior. So they say Japan is the Switzerland of Asia. right? Can you dig it? I can dig it. The one thing that makes Japan, well, gosh, I can't even just stick to one thing. All right, so Japan is like a Scandinavian country. Sweden, Denmark, Finland, even European Switzerland, right? Because it's quiet. The Japanese are very conservative in that manner. On the trains, on the subways, you have to be quiet. No popping, no chewing gum, talking loud, playing music, and nah, 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 nah. No New York stuff. It's very clean, quiet, clean, conservative, and yeah, I guess those are the reasons why it's like a Scandinavian country. Quiet, clean, conservative. Those are the reasons. I guess that's it. After I turn this camera off, I'll remember what I wanted to say. Like, oh yeah, that's why. That's another reason why. There. That's why you're supposed to stay prepared. Look at the bike shop. Oh yeah, here's another reason why it's like a European country. You've got a bike shop and the bikes. See, like in Amsterdam, bikes are a popular mode of transportation, and so in Japan, same thing. So you see the contrast, or you see the similarities between the two. All right. All right, the last thing I want to tell you about, I'm going to point to it over here. All right, see up there, it says pachinko and slot. Pachinko and slot. So in Japan, that's a casino. It doesn't operate like a regular casino that you know of, like in America, because you have to play this game called pachinko. And you play the game like you would play a Chuck E. Cheese game, and you win prizes, or you can win prizes, but the adult Japanese, instead of winning prizes, they'll take their winning points, like those tickets that you got at Chuck E. Cheese, they'll take those, and then they'll walk around the corner where they can exchange those tickets for things like of real value, like gold. And that's what they do. So that's how they gamble. So that gold, they can go sell and get real money for it, because they don't want stuffed animals and all that garbage, right? Yep, that's how the Japanese gamble. Because gambling is illegal in Japan. So you'll see these like high-rise apartments and stuff all around. That's where the Japanese live. Similar to Korea, similar to the Middle East, similar to so many parts of the world, right? Japan's no different. I have an idea. I just mentioned how the Japanese live in these high-rise apartments and stuff. That's true, but they also live in houses. So I'm going to show you the houses next, and then that's going to be the end of this little tour of this area where I'm staying. Let's go see the man who's reading. Let's go say, "What's up, man? What you reading?" What you reading there, homeboy? Is that Dickens, Poe? Maybe it's Shakespeare, or maybe something else. All right, so I'm back over here at 7-Eleven. I'm gonna show you the homes where the Japanese live in a moment. But here's the thing. You got to get up early in the morning to enjoy this. It's mostly quiet throughout the day, so you don't have to. It's not like the question is what are you enjoying? Yeah, the peace and quiet of the morning, and getting a head start on the day. So it's already what, 6:42. Got to take the good with the bad, because in this case, the bad is the cold. Like, my hands are really cold. I'm going to go inside in a second and warm up. But I had to get out here in the morning, walk around. She has her gloves on. She said, "I'm not playing." She said, "I'm not playing with this Japanese winter. I'm not playing at all." Uh, I don't need anything from 7-Eleven, so I'm good. I just wanted to get out and enjoy the fresh air, the scenery, walk, because I'm not in Los Angeles. You dig? And not being in Los Angeles, it's like it's a trip, y'all. It's a trip. That's why I move around and travel. So there's this park nearby. Oh wow. Frolicking, eh? I came through the door, said it before. I never let the mic magnetize me no more. All right, let me show you the homes. I mentioned the homes a couple of times already. Let me show them to you now. It's the land of the rising sun. Ohayo. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. Watashi wa America jin desu. Watashi wa name Lady-san. 12345678910。日本語わかりません。おはようございます。どうもありがとう。どうもありがとうございます。The land of the morning, no, Korea is the land of the morning calm. This is the land of the rising sun. Nihon. All right, so if you don't live in those high-rise apartments, you can get a low-rise apartment like that, or you can get maybe a condo or a townhouse like that. So these little individual spots. I'm guessing they're more condos or townhouses because more than one family lives in them. But these aren't the high rises that we saw a moment ago. This is what I'm talking about. Bicycles. Yeah. Okay, we're done. Maybe I'm not done. Look, so we have these. You can see the high-rise apartment in the distance over there. And then right here, you see these are the like smaller apartments, homes, what have you.